All right, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, and Kakwadash. I want to give and say double honors to the apostles and the bishop elders, a great millstone for teaching his word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, preaching and prophesying in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, I'm Brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another quick lesson. And the title of this lesson is They Changed Their Names. All right. And this is inspired by this man, Benjamin Netanyahu, Salakia. Khan, this is inspired by this man right here, Benjamin not a Jew, all right, so-called Benjamin Netanyahu, all right, and he is an example of them changing their names. And they do that typically to hide themselves amongst the nations. They may give other reasons, but starting with the Rothschild family, Salakia, starting with the starting with the Rothschild family. They had issues with name disputes, obviously over business, but the Rothschild family, Salakia. Excuse me. The Rothschild family, that's not their original name. Their original surname was Bowers. All right. They changed their name to Rothschild after their forefather, took their name from a red shield that was hanging on the outside of his business. And Rothschild goes back to red shield. Roth is red, and shield or child is shield. Okay, and that's a tactic that all these J-brews pretty much do, especially the ones that are higher up in higher positions. They'll change their names to either suit the names for the living in the Holy Land, to try to give it a more so-called Jewish sounding reference. And also too, you get these J's that hide themselves when they come to America. They'll change their last names. There are many Hollywood actors and actresses like Natalie Portman. That's not her real name. Natalie Portman, she has a different sounding name. All right. Yeah, this is Natalie Portman. This woman right here, that's not her real name. So she's a J too. All right. And Natalie Portman is it says is an Israeli-born American actress, right? But she wasn't born Natalie Portman. She was born Natalie Hirschschlag. And these are all these European-sounding names. These are Europeans, Edomite Europeans, so-called Europeans, Edomites, who came from Eastern Europe and migrated to Israel, the state of Israel. And they changed their names, and this is a part of lies. This is a part of deception. They're deceiving people, especially this dude, not a Jew, okay? Benjamin Netanyahu. That's not his real name. It says Benjamin Bibi Netanyahu is an Israeli politician who has been serving as Prime Minister of Israel since December 2022 and had previously held the office from 1996 to 1999 and from 2009 to 2021, right? And that would have you thinking that this beefhead looking demon is one of our people, and he's not. This dude's a liar. And we all know that. All you brothers that didn't know, you know that this man is not a son of the Most High. He's a son of Satan. Okay? So I just wanted to kind of just do a quick thing right here. I got a real quick precept. This is Revelation 20:3. And cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him. Matter of fact, I'll start at 1. It says, Satan bound, or it says 1,000 years. And this is, Satan is not talking about, Satan is not talking about the spiritual demon Satan. It's referring or referencing Esau, Edom. He's a child of Satan. So again, it says, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on a dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. So this man, it says, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loose for a little season. So this man, he wasn't able to deceive the nations anymore because he was bound for some time. But once he got out of captivity, he started deceiving the world again. He changed his name, he stole nations, stole lands, changed the boundaries. This is what this man does. Because he's the devil. Only the devil would do something like that. All right? And again, one of their tactics is they change their names. And a lot of these people that you praise in this world today, you know, who are praised for their occultic personality. This made-up personality, this made-up idea of a person, like that dude, Barack Obama. That's not his real name. You know, his name, he had changed. His mother gave him the name Barry Soetoro. You know, he wasn't even named after his Kenyan father until like after the fact. You know what I mean? Or he might have been named originally Barack Obama, and then his mother changed his name to Barry Soetoro. And his Edomite grandparents, they called him Barry. They never called him Barack. You know, they always called him Barry. And he's not even an Israelite. He's a Hamite. You know, Salakia, he's a Hamite. Okay, and again, this is a tactic of the Jays. A lot of these people you reference and rate in this world, especially these J stock, they give you these different names. They have different names. They're not the original names. You know, these are fake people. Literally, it's a fake individual. You know, it's not a real person. It's just an idea that was created and then given to the people, and people actually believe that these people are who they are. If they'll lie about their names, their nationalities, what else will they lie about? Or what won't they lie about? Should be the answer. The question. They'll lie about anything because this man's a liar. He's a deceiver, and he deceived the nations, man. All right. So I don't want to make this too long. Let me go into this real quick. This is Benjamin Netanyahu, not a Jew, right? So I typed this up. The first thing I typed up is, why did Jews change their names, right? And it says many immigrants to modern Israel changed their names to Hebrew names. And these are not really Hebrew names, but you'll get like Benjamin, not a Jew, which Benjamin or Bunyamin in the Hebrew, the Paleo-Hebrew, ancient Hebrew, is son of the right. And Netanyahu was supposed to be like Nathaniel, and that means thank the Lord, right? But that's not his name. So it says, many immigrants to the modern Israel changed their names to Hebrew names to erase remnants of exile life still surviving in family names from other languages, right? That's their excuse. So then you go down to Benjamin Nadaji, right? Benjamin or Benzin Netanyahu, born Benzion Milikowski, was an Israeli. This is Benjamin Netanyahu's father, was an Israeli encyclopedist, historian, and medievalist. He served as a professor in history at Cornell University, a scholar of Judaic history. He was also an activist in revisionist Zionism movement who lobbied in the United States to support the creation of the Jewish state. So he was a Zionist. His father was a Zionist, right? And it says who lobbied in the United States to support the creation of the Jewish state. His field of expertise was the history of the Jews in Spain, right? He was an editor of Hebrew encyclopedic where was I at? He was an editor in the Hebrew Encyclopedia, and if you read it, Hebrew Encyclopedia in 1925, it tells you that Edom is modern Jewry. You know, the enemy of the Israelites has become Jewry. Edom is modern Jewry. It tells you that. So I'm sure this devil knew that shit. And it says, and he was the editor of the Hebrew Encyclopedia and assistant to the Benjamin Askin, Zev Jeptinsky, personal creator, you know. And this is Benjamin Netanyahu's father, Benzion Milikowski, right? And then it says right here, children, Benjamin, Yatin, and Benjamin, right? So Benjamin is not his real name. Let me read this. It says, Benzion Milikowski, later Netanyahu, was born in Warsaw, in partitioned Poland, which was under Russian control, to Sarah Laurie and the writer and Zionist activist Nathan Milikowski. This is Benjamin Netanyahu's grandfather. Nathan was a rabbi who toured Europe and the United States, making speeches supporting Zionism. After Nathan took the family to the Mandate Palestine, or Aliyah, all right, in 1920, this is before Israel became a state, right? This was the first so-called wave. The family name was eventually changed to Netanyahu after living in Jaffa, Tel Aviv, and Safed. The family settled in Jerusalem. Benzion Netanyahu studied at the teachers seminary in Hebrew University in Jerusalem. Although his father was a rabbi, Benzion was a secular. So this dude, he didn't even believe in the Most High. And I don't believe his father truly believed in Yahweh Bashim Shai either. You know, they were all demons. He's not a spiritual people. They're wicked. Right? The scripture says that the Most High is not at all in his thoughts. Right? Right. This is the book of Psalms 10 and 4. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. When you seek after the Most High, you got to seek after the Most High in spirit and in truth. And Esau is incapable of doing such a thing. It says, the wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not at all in his thoughts. Right? Let's go back to this. So remember, this dude, even though his father was a rabbi, he was a secular, right? Let me read that again. It says Benzion Netanyahu studied at the teacher's seminary. What was that? Right. It says right here. It says Benzion Netanyahu studied at the teacher's seminary in the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. Although his father was a rabbi, Benzion was secular. His younger brother, mathematician Elisha Netanyahu, became dean of science at the Technion. It was common. Listen to this. It was common practice for Zionist immigrants at the time to adopt Hebrew names. Why would you adopt the Hebrew name, but you don't even adopt the true Hebrew culture and ideology of worshiping a God, their power? You see? But it said it was common practice for Zionist immigrants at the time to adopt a Hebrew name. Nathan Milikowski began signing some of his articles he wrote Netanyahu. So he just made up a name. He just brought up a name. What does that name even mean? Right? The Hebrew version of his first name, Nathan, which we know Nathan is Nathaniah Allah, means thank to the power or to the Most High. Right? Nathaniah Allah. That's what that would mean in the Hebrew. So he just made up a name, a form of his first name. Right? It says he wrote Netanyahu, the Hebrew version of his first name, and his son, which is Benjamin Netanyahu, adopted this as his family name. He also used the pen name Nitty or Nite, which two of his aunts were murdered during the Holocaust. The pen name of Nitye. Two of his aunts were murdered during the Holocaust. So he claims, right? So it says right here, the couple had 3 sons. Yonatan. Okay, let me read this again. In 1944, Netanyahu married Tisla Siegel, whom he met during his studies in Palestine. The couple had 3 sons. Yonatan former commander of the Seret Matkal, who was killed in action leading the operation in Entebbe. Benjamin, born in 1949, Israeli prime minister, you know, and so these people just created an image for themselves. They created a name for themselves. They gave themselves these different names to sound like Hebrews. But this dude really is Milikowski. This dude, so Bibi, this devil, this is not his real name. This is a name that was just created out of thin air, right? That's what this name is. And it says Benjamin, or Bibi is what they called him. Netanyahu is an Israeli, Netanyahu, born October 21st, 1949, is an Israeli politician who has been serving as prime minister of Israel. This devil right here, right? This Edomite, this demon, right? This monster, right? Okay? He is not a real person. This nigga is not a real person. When I say a real person, I mean like by his name. Born in Tel Aviv to secular Jewish. What is the secular Jewish? Secular Jewish secularism. Jewish secularism refers to secularism in a Jewish context. Let's go to secularism, then we'll go back to Jewish secularism. Secularism is the principle of seeking to conduct human affairs based on naturalistic considerations, uninvolved in religion. Naturalism is, in philosophy, is the idea that only natural laws and forces, as opposed to supernatural ones, operate in the universe, which is a lie, because all things operate on the laws of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Does not say that in the scriptures? This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, the Heavenly Father, and the law that endure forever. All that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. So when you keep this law, you keep this word, you keep to the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, as an Israelite man, starting off with us, we're going to live. But once we leave the truth, once we leave these laws, we die. A great example is that man in Trinidad, that young man in Trinidad who used to be a part of the truth, but he left the truth to go back into the world. And what he ended up really dying, because you could be spiritually dead and physically alive, or you could just be physically dead and then and you go back to the spiritual world and you be living there until it's time for you to come back in, right? So this law endures forever, but these Jays, they don't even believe in the law of the Lord. Going back into secularism, Jewish secularism, Salakia. It says Jewish secularism, which is the belief that you don't involve, that things don't, the world, this natural world is not governed by the spiritual world or the laws. That's what that is. But these people, this dude will try to quote the scriptures, quote prophecy. On one side, you don't even believe in the law of the Lord. On one side, you don't even believe in the spiritual law of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. But then you want to try to quote prophecy as it pertains to the Israelites and claim that it fulfills what you're doing in this world. You see, this man's a hypocrite. It says Jewish secularism refers to secularism in a Jewish context, denoting the definition of Jewish identity with little or no attention given to its religious aspect. So they'll take on the identity, Jewish identity. They'll take that on. Jewish identity is the objective or subjective state of perceiving oneself as a Jew and as relating to being Jewish. Under a broader definition, Jewish identity does not depend on whether a person is regarded as a Jew by others or by an external set of religious or legal or sociological norms. Jewish identity does not need to imply religious orthodoxy. So you just created some shit. You just say that pertains to you. You've been walking by somebody's house. That's like walking by somebody's house and then pointing at it and say, look, I live there. And it doesn't matter if your name is on a deed. Doesn't matter if you own the house. Doesn't matter if you pay a bill on that house. You just took on an identity. I live there. And that's what Esau does. That's why the scripture says the thief cometh not to steal, to kill, and to destroy, man. All right? It says Jewish identity with little or no attention to given to its religious aspects. The concept of Jewish secularism first rose in the 19th century, this is the 1800s, with the influence peaking during the interwar period. It says Jewish secularism, the Moranos in Spain, Moranos is one of the terms used in relation to Spanish, Portuguese Jews, which is really Israelite, black, so-called black Jews, who converted or were forced to Spanish, who converted or were forced by Spanish and Portuguese crowns to convert to Christianity. And that's what these heathens was making us do in the Middle Ages, man. Right? So it says the Moranos in Spain, who retained some sense of Jewish identity and alienation while formerly Catholic, anticipated the European secularization process to some degree. Their diaspora outside Iberia united believing Catholics returns to Judaism, on both accounts rarely fully at comfort in their religions, and Decius in one Marrano nation. It says Baruch Spinoza, the herald of the secular age, advocated the demise of religious control over society and the delegation of faith to the private sphere. So basically, you can believe in the Most High if you want or not. That's for your private affairs. It should not govern the affairs of outside your personal privacy, which that's a lie, because the law of Yahweh Shem Shai it dictates everything from the spiritual and the physical aspect of things, man, from the personal and a public aspect of things. All right, but that's what they do. So this man, Benjamin Netanyahu, that's why he don't have a spiritual bone in his body. You know, that's why he don't believe in keeping a beard on his face. That's why he don't believe in the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Shai. That's why he's against the Lord and his people, his true people, because this man, this dude, this is a fake person. And like Trump say, fake news. No, this dude's he's not a real person, man. You know, they changed their names to suit their position. They changed their names to suit their interests, right? So I just wanted to bring this out, man. I hope it wasn't a long video. I hope it was edifying. Shalom on to the next.